Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview.
Recording.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress Chioma Umeala. So welcome, Chioma. Or Chioma.
Hi, Chioma. Yeah, Chioma.
Yeah, it's such a pretty
Yeah.
name.
Thank
But
you.
you
Thank
got
you
to
so
put up
much.
with my West Virginia accent trying to pronounce it. But welcome to the show.
But I love accents, so it's no problem to me. I'm obsessed with accents.
I'm guessing how many different languages do you speak?
This is not really great representation of African people, but I only speak English.
Yeah, yeah.
But I come from a country where there are 11 official languages.
Well,
So
that's why I
like it's
asked
very,
because there's so many
yeah.
over there.
Yeah, so like it's very common here at home for people to like speak five languages on
Wow.
on an average. Um, I just happen to have, I don't know what happened. My mom is South African, my dad's Nigerian, and so they were like, well, let's just speak English to the kids. And so
Yeah.
I didn't learn either of my languages, but I can hear. So like with my mom's language, is Xhosa, it's one of the click languages. I can hear and I can reply, and it's a little bit broken, but I'm not like fluent the way I wish I was, you
Right.
know.
Right. Yeah, my wife's has a similar story. So her dad's Mexican, but he never spoke Spanish around the house. So when she became an adult, then she was like, well, I kind of wish I'd learned to speak Spanish. So she spent the last 10 years doing the Duolingo and that type of stuff to try to learn that. And I was like, it'd probably been easier if he just spoke it when you were a kid.
Yeah, very much so. Again, coming from a country where like I went to school where kids spoke three different languages by the time that they were five. So like it was possible. But I always say because now I want to give my children the language. And I want my kids to be so fluent that they laugh at how broken my language is. Because my philosophy in life is that the world is going to teach your child English. It's just what it is. The
You're
world will
right.
teach them
You're
English.
right.
They're going to learn it.
They're going to
What they're
learn.
not going to learn by default is their home language. So give them that home language, and then the English will take care of itself, kind of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
I agree with that. Yeah, because you're right. The world's just going to kind of give you English.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
exactly.
I love that. How many children do you have?
I don't have babies yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay.
Not yet. I
But you
hope to have
but you're
five.
already planning.
I am. I am. I hope to have five one day because I'm one of five as well, and I love having a big family.
That's a big
But
family.
right now, yeah, it's
Where were
nice
you in
though.
there though? What's are you a middle child? Were you the baby? What?
I'm in the middle. I'm like
Yeah.
slap bam in the middle.
I there's
Yeah.
they always say the middle child is the got the toughest spot because they're not the baby, but they're not the oldest,
Yeah.
so they're just kind of
Yeah.
they're the ones in the middle. So
They're
they're
kind
the
of like
ones that
forgotten.
yeah, they're the ones that are always trying to get attention.
Yeah. I mean maybe that's why I'm an actor now.
Yeah, five is a lot. That
Yeah.
I hope you get to have that because that'd be awesome.
I mean, minimum three, because like the world is different. Like before, it was easier to have more for different reasons. Some of it was like you didn't, not every child made it to the age of six or
Well,
whatever,
that's
you know.
right. Yeah.
But growing up in a big family, like me, like I have such a close relationship with my sister and my younger brother and like all of them. Like I just want to give that to my kids.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I've experienced it. So I just want them to have some sort of best friend built into the family, you know?
Oh, I totally understand. I'm in the grandfather stage, so I've got 5 grandchildren, right? If you can believe that. But the oldest one's, well, he's getting ready to turn 6. He'll turn 6 next month. So that's the oldest one.
Wow.
So they're young, but on Fridays, and I've done this since the first one showed up, I've got all 5 of them. So they get that cousin time, and that's what I
Yes, I
wanted.
love
I was
that.
like, yeah, it's exhausting to have all of them, but I want them to be close, so
Exactly.
yeah. So I totally get
Yeah,
it.
that's really special.
Oh, it is.
Congrats.
It's the best time. Like by the time they leave, I'm ready for them to go. But as soon as they're gone, I miss
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I get you.
So, Chioma, let's start this way. Tell me a little bit about what got you into the entertainment business. That's a difficult business to go into. Why'd you choose that?
Yeah, like emphasis on the difficult part. My partner, he's a software developer, so he has like a
Oh,
very normal job, which I'm
yeah, yeah.
I'm glad one of us does. But
You
he
kind of
like
need
every
that,
like
don't you?
sec
You kind of
yeah,
need
we do.
the stability, I think.
100%.
Yeah.
But like every second day, he'll just like quietly mutter to himself, your job is just so difficult. Like so frustrated with the like but anyways, I've always been, I guess, a creative. I've like maybe it's the middle child syndrome, but I loved dancing when I was younger. My parents put me into music when I was young. So like from the age of 10, I was playing piano, guitar,
Oh, very nice.
percussive instruments. And yeah, and then like going into high school, my high school had a really big drama program. And that was the first time I kind of knew I wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
I was thinking about modeling. I was thinking about being a musician. I even started a girl band with my some of my friends in high school. But then in high school, I started the drama program there,
Yeah.
and I just fell in love with I guess because I have an overactive imagination and I want to do so many different things. I love that acting allows you to do that and be that.
Yes.
Like there's so many skill sets and so many things you can pick up. And I have the appetite for that and to express myself through that because again I'm an artist. And so yeah, through high school I told my very Nigerian father, hey, I want to act. He was not having it. I
Well,
had to
because he wants
convince
to
my
know
parents.
what's your backup plan.
Right, that's the thing. And you know what, I'm very proud of myself because when I was 16 I had a plan. I said, mom and dad, let me pursue this thing now while I'm still dependent on you because
Yeah,
I'm allowed to be right now
that's
as a
right.
16-year-old or whatever.
That's the time to be pursuing
So,
it.
right. Don't wait until I'm 20 something and now I'm an independent and I'm gonna do it anyways because I'm gonna do it anyways.
Right.
But now I don't have anybody to depend on as much. Like I shouldn't
Right.
necessarily be depending on my parents. That didn't work. However, because my parents are stubborn, they made stubborn times two. So I waited out.
Yep.
And by the time I got to like around like my 20s, I was like, okay, cool. Are we done? Can I go now? Can I start this? And I basically just like found odd jobs here and there. But um because I wore them down, my father eventually did come around and he
Yeah.
saw the potential of what I want to do. And it was the only thing I really gave I really cared about.
That
Like
was your
my
passion.
other grades were my grades are bad, but I love drama and I love art and I love like that was just where I thrived. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm guessing, yeah, they're fully on board now, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So my mom is very supportive. My dad passed in 2020, but before he passed, he did say he's fully like he even said he's gonna help, fund some projects for me. And like he was making calls with like other family members to help, get everything involved. So like I had a nice before he passed, there was like some nice closure in terms of uh getting his blessing in a way or seeing his pride actually. Like he was actually
Yeah.
proud of some of the stuff I was doing. So yeah, they
Well,
are very
that's
much on
I'm so
board.
glad to hear that, and sorry for your loss. A lot of people lost people in 2020. It was a terrible year,
Yeah.
but that's so great that you got to kind of experience him being on board, but before he passed. So that's terrific, because you want that. We all want our parents' approval, whatever we're doing.
That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you do any like theater or anything while you were in school?
School theater, yeah. So I did like
Yeah.
lots of productions and stuff while I was in school. I was allowed because it was school, so that was how I got away with it. But yeah, outside of that, I didn't really I only got into theater and like production stuff after the fact, after I
Yeah, it's
finished.
kind of a late start.
Yeah, it is actually. Which pisses me off because I knew better than to have a late start. I know, like I had a plan,
You had a
okay? Like
plan,
I
I
was,
know.
yeah. So I'm not like too chuffed about the fact that I had to start late, but I did start late. It is what it is. Like,
It is what it is. Well, you're making up for lost time. You're doing very
I
well.
hope so.
You are.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
Yeah, you're doing
Thank
very
you.
well. Loved you in The Woman King. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a badass movie.
It was, yeah. It was a very touching, it's like a very heartfelt movie and just like very raw and like you said, badass. It was fun to do. It was actually the most difficult project I have ever been on,
Why is
ever.
that?
Because it was my first film
I mean, that's pretty
ever.
great. If you're going to get a first role, that's not a bad one to be.
Right. It's fair, but like because so you see locally here, our industry is quite small. Like we don't even have
Yeah.
trailers. Like especially at the time, like we had a green room and we had changing rooms where we'd all like in the take our turns to go into the change room and get into costume and stuff. So like that's how like bare bones our industry was. So by the time I got to the I did one series and then I did The Woman King. And everything, especially that particular film, is a big film. Like there was like 1,000 plus crew and actors,
Yeah, big
and
film. Yeah.
yeah. So like it was overwhelming, but outside of that, we had to do a lot of training to get to that warrior place. So
Yeah.
I was training 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for like 5 to 6 months.
I mean,
So it's
that's
five to
not, that's hard, but
yeah.
if you're getting paid to get in shape, that's not terrible either.
No, and it was a dream come true. Like I'm getting paid to do, and I love also training and everything. So I was getting paid to do what I love, but at the same time, like you're eating different, and then there's pressures and there's so much going on at the same time, especially for it being
Yeah.
so new to me that it was, and also I had just lost my father like a year or two
Oh,
before,
yeah.
so
Yeah, that's a lot.
there was a lot of yeah, a lot of stuff. So it was physically demanding, and when you're physically depleted, you don't really have much for like emotional states and whatever. And that there was a lot of that film took people fought to get that film made
Yeah.
is what I'll say. And so there were a lot of obstacles production wise that like we all had to overcome in order to get the product that we have now.
Yeah.
So all of those things combined made it a very difficult job emotionally and physically. And I don't know if I'd do it again, but I'm so thankful for it. I really am. Like I'm grateful that that I was on that project.
Yeah, well, as you should be, because yeah, as hard as it was, it lets you uh, be on set and kind of learn how all
Yeah.
that works. You got to be around some bigger stars. That's always
Yeah.
good to see how they work. Yeah, that's not a terrible way to get started. I saw that on your Instagram that you worked out quite a bit, so I figured that the movie helped with that too.
Yeah, actually, you know what's so funny? Like, if I'm being real, the movie actually did not help at all because I was already a fitness girl
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
fact. And the thing about when you're training for movies is that you're on an unsustainable diet and
right.
fitness plan. And I knew that going in. So like I could feel how unsustainable it was. Like I could feel how I wasn't enjoying the training or whatever
Right.
anymore. And so after the fact, I did not see the gym for like months. Like it was
They burnt you
I
out.
could it burned me out. I was eating everything, which as I should, but it didn't I had to relearn to love it essentially, which is
Yeah.
very interesting because it was, I guess it's like, when you're doing something for a job, or
Yep.
when if you go when you already gonna go wash the dishes and then your mom tells you to wash the dishes. You don't want
Right.
to wash the dishes anymore because someone
Yeah,
told
it's
you to.
different.
So yeah, so I had to like refine my want for it kind of thing.
Well, I'm glad you did. Yeah, because it's so important
Thank you.
to kind of to keep yourself in shape. But yeah, I totally get that. Because if it's real intense, like overly intense, you can only do that for so long.
Yeah, that's the thing. Half a year, it's a long time. But again, like I said, I'm thankful for it. I'm happy. Um, would I do it again? Maybe if I was a little bit higher on the
Yeah.
cost list.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Um, Actually, that's so interesting because like when I was there, I was so excited to be there, and I learned a big lesson. Which Viola taught me actually, and she was like, people mistake proximity with making it. So they think that because you're in the proximity of someone who's made it, that now you have made it. But it's like just because you're around it, it still means you have a long way to go, kind of thing.
Right.
Which was very very helpful and very like is very eye-opening to hear that. And she really took on a mentorship role for all of us and was just a wealth of knowledge. But on the other hand, there was a cast member that was like, I thought that this was my big break. I was like, wow, this is a big production. I'm just so happy to be
Yeah.
in proximity, and I'm hoping that this leads to something. And the one person was just like to me, yeah, it's not big enough for that. You should just temper your expectations. That was quite sad. You think about like this. I'm an African child. When was Hollywood ever coming to Africa? You know what I'm saying? I was so happy and like elated or
I
whatever.
know
So
she
I
couldn't
was a
let you
little bit.
just enjoy it for a little while.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of felt like a balloon pop, but I mentioned the Viola part because Viola, as much as she had a similar sentiment, it was more like she was reminding me that this is the start,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that felt really inspiring.
Well, yeah, because she's done it. So it's not like
Yeah,
she's not telling you anything that she doesn't actually know. She's
100%.
done it.
Yeah.
Did you play sports in school?
I did. So I played mostly hockey, the
Yeah.
stick hockey,
Yep.
um, and soccer. I did water polo for a bit. I hated it. Land fitness versus water fitness, two
It's
different
different.
things.
Yeah, it's
Two
different.
different things. I was like, I'm basically drowning for sport. I don't enjoy that.
Well, I was gonna
So
say
I
you're not
stopped.
drowning on land.
No, exactly, exactly. So I was like, well, I don't need this. But I did a lot of sports during school. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are you tall? It's hard to tell with you sitting down.
I'm average. I'm 5'6".
Oh no, that's about average. Yeah, I'm kind of short. Guys, I'm like 5'8", 5'9", but yeah, you can't tell when anybody's sitting down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You think, well,
No,
they
I
don't
mean to
seem
me
very
that's
big, and
still
they stand
tall.
up and they're a foot taller than you are.
I know, especially in America because you guys are tall. You guys are big. You're not just tall,
Yeah,
like you're just bigger
just big.
people. It's
Yeah,
so
just big.
interesting. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know. I know. There's some guys out there that are just monsters. They're so big. Like, how do you get that
yeah.
big?
I know. My partner is 6'4".
Oh, yeah,
And
that's pretty
and
good size.
it's surprising to me that he's technically short, like
Yeah,
there by
yeah,
your
yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not. He maybe slightly above average.
Yeah, just enough.
So I saw you. You had a little part in Novocaine that just came out.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet. My sister watched it and she told me about it. Yeah, I did. I had a part there. It was like a day in and out kind of thing. It was really cool. I
You're
like the
a
concept.
Yeah. You were a bartender, right?
Yeah, I was a bartender.
Yeah, yeah. Now I haven't seen it yet either, but I mean it's Jack Quaid and that Amber Mid Thunder. So the cast is
Yeah.
great. The trailer looked terrific on it.
Yeah, like Jack is really sweet. Like he's
Yeah.
very personable, very like I don't know, like he's one of those people where you see them on screen and then you just literally take them out of the screen and put them in front of you and they're the exact same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um And yeah, it was a very good shoot. Amber was so sweet as well. We bonded over because she's Native American, which
Yeah.
also her surname is so fucking badass. Like, can I swear?
Oh,
Sorry.
oh yeah, you can swear,
Okay.
and I agree.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a
Like that
badass
is
name.
so cool as her name. So I spoke to her and she's native because she's Native American, and we realized because my mom's culture, Xhosa, we have a lot of beadwork
Oh,
that is just part of our tradition and stuff. And similarly, they have that as well, just like different size beads, but
yeah,
like similarly. And like it was very nice to like see how cultures from like so far away from each other have similarities and overlap and like different like philosophies that are exactly the same. And so yeah, that was a very culturally enriching experience. And also she gave me my idea because now I've ever since then I've been beating a whole lot more
oh, that's
ever
great.
since that film. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty great because now you can you need to make something and then just tag her on the Instagram.
Yeah, I should actually. I should definitely do that.
Yeah, she's I mean she's fairly new to acting as well,
Mhm.
but she's really talented. She's made an impact already.
Yeah, which is good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her. So we got to
Yeah.
talk a little bit of One Piece.
Yeah.
So I'm a you know I watch anime some, so I'm not completely unfamiliar with it, but I'm
Okay, what are your favorites?
well, I'm old school, so I grew up watching like Speed Racer and Vampire Hunter D, and some of the older stuff, and I always loved it. Battle of the Planets or Gatchaman, I was fans of that. Robotech with that. So
Okay.
so One Piece though is the first newer one that I've
Mm.
watched. And of course, it was the live action. So I was like, I love the live action so much. I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch the anime. Well, there's like 1,100 episodes
The thing is 1100 and counting.
and counting. They're not done.
It is not finished. I'm not doing it. I
I
can't.
mean,
I'm
if
so
you
sorry.
watched an episode a day, it'd take you like 5 years to catch up.
It's sometimes we have to make peace with missing the train,
That's right.
you know? And that's a train I'm okay with missing. And
That's,
there's so many other animes that I've watched, like older ones. Like I've watched Naruto,
oh,
I've watched
Naruto's
some
a
of the other
great
old
one.
ones
Yeah,
because they have an end.
that's right.
There's a finish line. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, you
So
want an ending.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
always
no,
wanted to. I was a Supernatural fan, but I never watched the entire
mm.
series. So I was like, I kind of like to go back and watch that. But it's like 15 seasons, and they weren't doing
It's a
short
lot.
seasons; they were doing
Yeah,
22
they were doing
episodes.
22 episode seasons back then. It's a
I'm
lot,
like,
and then 40 minutes an episode.
I was like, I don't have that
Yeah.
kind of time anymore. Maybe when I was, a teenager, I might have found time to do it, but not now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have time. I shouldn't have done it, but I watched Vampire Diaries start to finish in grade 11 when I should have been studying for my exam. So, that was a lot of time I killed.
I know we've all done it at different times, but I've never done it with a
Yeah.
show that's 1,100 episodes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
lot.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I've had a few of the cast on. So let's see, we had Aiden Scott has been on the show, and
Oh yeah. Love him. So
Alexander
good.
came on. He was terrific.
So good.
And let's see, Stephen that plays Mihawk.
Yes.
He'd been on. He was
Yes,
he
yes,
was great.
yes.
And then Theo that played the young Mihawk has been on the
Yes.
show. So now, but
Yes.
you're the first
That's so
girl
sweet.
I've had. So there we go. So tell me a little bit about
First, not the last.
not the
Not
last,
the
just the first,
last. Okay.
just the first.
Okay.
You're breaking the barrier. Now
Okay.
it'll a lot more will come in. But how did that one come about? Because I know they're kind of filming on your end of the world, but how did that come
Yeah.
about? Was it just happened that it was just there, or was that one that you saw and said, "Hey, I'd like to do that"?
No, I just got a brief for a show that was named Project Panda at the
Yeah, I
time.
love that. I love
And
that that was the fake name.
yeah, and I had completely fake character names. Like the scenario between Nami and Nojiko was similar, but like it was set in like like just modern day. Like I had no idea what this was
Yeah.
until, funny enough, so the Woman King was filming on the same property as where One Piece was going to start
Yeah.
filming.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of overlap, but my character wasn't going to be on One Piece until like months later. So I was like when I was getting driven to and from set, because like it's like it's in the wilderness, like it's literally just
Hmm.
like nature kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was seeing this Project Panda sign, and I was like, what? That's the thing. I swear, and I messaged my agent and I was like, please tell them like I'm also on the Women King. Please tell and send them some of my stunt stuff that I've been doing. Like, please let them know like this is because that's when I found out it was One Piece. And then like the One Piece production team emailed back saying, don't worry, she's actually got the part. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's
We
terrific.
were only gonna like message you guys like months later because they only needed me months later. But I
Yeah.
was so ecstatic and I was so happy I didn't know what it was until um everything was said and done
Yeah.
because it just didn't give me a chance to when you have performance anxiety, like I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
have.
You didn't have to worry about it because you didn't know.
Yeah, yeah, and it was beautiful because like the Woman King was such a rough set, like just so rough. I was like, because I we had to like not wear shoes a lot, and like you're just running on terrain, and
Yeah.
I'm a
That's hard
very
on you.
sensitive girl, like, and again, anything for the job. This is what I'm getting paid to do this, but like I was like, please, can I have a job that has shoes? Like, can I please have a job with shoes? So One Piece came along and like the difference was like so cushiony. It's like going from like this tough and hard and like this we were warriors. We really were. And
Yeah.
then going on to One Piece and like every like everything was so sweet and so like welcoming and like the energy was just exactly what I needed. It was like a nice little because if every film was like The Woman King, I don't know if I'd still be acting. But One Piece was
That must have
very
been
much
really
like a
rough.
reminder. I'm really understating how tough it was. Um, but One Piece was like, oh, it gave me I like the other side of like what
Yeah.
the industry could be, and it was such a beautiful experience. I was so happy to be there.
Well, you were terrific in it. We absolutely loved you
Thank
as
you.
her sister. What do you think of the hair?
I really loved it. I feel like it came out different on screen. I mean, you never know what it's going to look like
Yeah,
until the product is out there. But um, I love the blue. I feel like it suited me really
I thought
well.
it suited you
I
really
would,
well.
I selfishly though would have loved to have curlier hair or like more hair like mine. So
Yeah,
we went through several hair tests and we did test some of the curly hair, but they wanted to be as close to the actual source material
right.
as possible. And so that's why that hairstyle won over, which I mean, I'm not mad at it. That's exactly what Nojiko looked like.
That's
So
right. That's right. Yeah,
um
yeah. I thought it
yeah,
was really well done. I like the blue. I thought it was pretty
I
good.
love the blue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna recreate the look soon with curly hair, but I'm trying to do like Nojiko reimagined with myself, like with me and friends are gonna like get together and
Oh,
see.
you
So like you
totally.
guys can
Oh,
like
you got it. I'm assuming you'll post some pictures from that.
I'm definitely posting,
Okay, okay.
definitely
I was gonna say
posting.
if
So you
not, you
guys
got to
can
send me some. That's awesome.
yeah, no, so before the end of the year you'll see like my version of or like just
Do
yeah,
you
my version of
celebrate?
Nojiko.
Do you have like a Halloween type of holiday?
We we don't, hey. Like it's not very prevalent. Like the most you do is like put on a bunny ears and
Yeah,
that's
but
it kind of thing. Whereas you
that's
guys
your
are so
costume. You
intricate.
can wear that forever.
That's true. That or the Woman King costume. I can just be like an
Oh yeah, yeah.
Agoji and just,
That'd be a good one.
yeah. I'm actually kind of it's cool that like a lot of my roles are costumable. That's a word.
Well, you never know that might come in handy if you do a convention or a Halloween.
Yeah.
Just
I
for
would
or
love
a
to do
costume
conventions.
party.
I actually Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you guys, America's really cool when it comes to Halloween because you guys get so intricate and like so thought
Yeah,
out and so like people plan months in advance
I
for that.
know.
And
Some people are
and
way into it.
Yeah, and it shows, and I think it's really cool. I'm a little bit of a nerd at heart, so like seeing that stuff, I would love to do that. I actually do want to attend more conventions and see stateside because I haven't been. I've done Comic Con Africa, but I've yet to touch the States.
Oh, you got to come
So
here. Yeah, you got to come here.
yeah, be a new face, new like just new vibes. It'll be so fun to do. So I'm
It'll
looking into that.
and I'm sure it was awesome in Africa as well. But fans
Yeah,
at conventions, 99% of them are terrific. They're just the best.
yeah,
Other than
yeah.
it's just exhausting because you're just you're standing or sitting all day talking with people, but it's pretty great. Yeah, I hope you get it
Yeah,
here.
I think that's the best. It's exhausting, but it's that thing of like, when you spend time with, it's like what you're saying with your grandkids. At the end of it, you're happy you did it. You're happy it's finished now, but like it's exhausting in a good way. Because I like connecting with people. I love connecting with people. I love having conversations. I love just being able to do that and have like a direct feedback is really
Yeah.
cool for me, you
Yeah, I
know?
agree with that. I agree with that. Is
Yeah.
there, do we get to see you in season two?
No,
Yeah, I was hoping.
no. I was too, honestly. I was too. I mean, there is a time skip that happens where we see my character again at some point. I have no idea where they are. I
Well,
mean, when they came to film season two, I met a lot of the season two cast members and like I've made friends and stuff with them. Um, but I have no idea where they are in terms of the story and
right.
how
I
far
know she
that time
comes
skip.
back
But
at some point, but yeah, I don't know where that is.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I would love to come back. I'd love to explore more of Nojiko and more of like because I loved how with other characters we got to see that as well, like with Garp.
Yeah.
There was a fleshing out there. So I think there's room and there's opportunity, but we'll see. We'll see how
Crossing
it
my
all
fingers
goes.
for you.
Me too. Again, I love the stage. I'd be so happy to return.
I what I loved about it was it was almost like a superhero show because everybody on the show
Yeah,
had some type of power.
yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of like that.
It's like there's like an anime thing. It's like, oh, I wonder who the main character is because like you'll have a frame of like kids in school uniforms and like it's like brown hair, like normal black hair, whatever, and then you just see the one kid with the yellow or purple hair sticking out like this, and it's like, oh, that's clearly something's up with that guy
That's
kind of
right. He
thing.
knows.
So yeah, he knows. So yeah, with anime, like any character you meet, they are just immediately there's a point of interest. There's a reason why we're
Yeah.
meeting them.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true too. Yeah, everybody on that show was interesting. Every character.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
if they did an if you did have 22 episodes and all the extra episodes were just like filler episodes where it filled in the background of the different characters, I would love that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why the anime has so many episodes
Yeah.
because they did it there.
Yeah.
Again, good for them. I'm happy for them. But yeah, like I think that also that's what makes it good world building is when you just want so much more of even the characters that like are like this big or whatever. It makes the world feel a lot more bigger and a lot more full. That
Yeah.
way.
I
So yeah,
agree
I
with
think that's
that.
why people resonate with the storytelling. Also, I love the storytelling because it's like it's the idea of it is like or the world is so diverse and so many different people and characters and things and like it's just I don't know, it's like an amalgamation of like or like what the world could and should be kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like a celebration of the fact that so many things are different and this person's interesting because of that and that person's
That's
interesting because
right.
of that and the fact that like Inaki and me, for example, we get to use our normal accents, because it feeds into the richness of the world. It's
Right.
just I love that they embraced that.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Because it seemed it was very diverse. It was very engaging. The characters were interesting. The dialogue was really good. It was plus the action was great. It was just a well done.
Yeah. Yeah,
If
no,
you
it's a show
go ahead.
you can tell they cared about it when they made
You
I
can.
would say Matt Owens, who was the showrunner, like he's a huge One Piece fan. And I think whenever you have IP like this being made, you want someone in the room that's a fan of the IP,
Yeah.
you know. because
Yes,
they
that's
can
right. Because they
advocate for
know
the best
the
parts.
lore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could play a different character in that show, who would you pick? Boy or girl?
That's so interesting. I would want to, because anime they have a lot of androgynous characters. So I would have
Yes.
like loved to play like an androgynous, like a character you don't know if they're a boy or a girl. But I don't know enough of the One Piece
Well, is there somebody
character,
on the
lineup.
cast from your, from the live action? Which one would you be?
Yeah. Um, Nami seems like a cool character. I'm also
Yeah.
biased. I love Emily and I love Nami. So I'm
I
just
know
gonna
she does such a good job with her, and she is. That's
she's
a great character.
yeah, she was made for it. She's also another fan. And she when she found out like it was getting made, that was the role that she really, really wanted from the
Yeah.
beginning. Even before there was a live action like announced. So it was like very like, worlds coming together, all the stars aligning rather for her that she gets to play Nami. So that is definitely her character. That's definitely hers. But that'll be a fun one to also if I got to. That or Aiden's character, because Aiden made it look so fun playing
I
that
was kind of
character.
thinking of Aiden's character when I asked. I
Yeah,
think you'd be really good in that role,
yeah. Dude, like
and he was great.
he
He was
just
terrific.
he was so good. I've become such a fan of his
He's such a
after
nice
the fact.
guy.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, because working with him, he's a friend and everything. So like, it was so lovely to work with. But then watching what he's done, I was like, oh my God, you were cooking. We
Yeah.
were like, you were cooking while we were just chatting. Like I became a huge fan post fact. So when I saw him after the fact, like when we did like the Comic Con or whatever, I couldn't stop praising him. I probably was acting so weird around him, but because I fanned after the fact kind of thing.
See, I
But yeah, he
love
did an
that
amazing
because
job.
I'd totally do that. I'm such a fan.
Yeah,
I told him that.
yeah.
I was like, you're acting, and that was just terrific. Yeah, I thought he doesn't think that he was that great. He was like, ah,
There's no way. There's no okay. To be fair, I mean, I don't think I was that great in as Nojiko, but like Aiden not thinking he wasn't great. That's crazy. He did such an amazing job. Like that was just oh,
I know, and you were great. You're just critical of
thank you.
yourself, like most of us are. We're always
Yeah,
critical of ourselves, but I loved your character. I thought you did a terrific job with that.
yeah, thank you.
The new season, it's got there's got some big names joining the cast.
Yeah, yeah. I saw like
Oh, like
Joe
Katie
Manganiello.
Seagal and Joe
Yeah.
Manganella. Yeah, that's some big stars.
Yeah, they're trying to stack the cast up really. And again, everyone, I think the show has a no asshole policy because for some reason they just keep casting nice people, which is
That's what you want,
so nice, so good. It's what you want, what you need. So whoever's doing the casting, like they have a very good asshole filter that they
yeah,
have.
yeah.
So even up to the highest levels, like Joe, like I only heard good things about his time on set and
That's awesome.
his time here in South Africa as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's. I need to get over there. I've never been to Africa. I need to go.
Yeah, South Africa, my country's beautiful. We have a lot of people finding out that our country's beautiful right now. So
Yep, that's right.
it's quite, but at the same time, like I can't help it. Like I advocate for anyone to come and visit South Africa because it is a beautiful country. And we have the culture is so beautiful and the people are so like friendly and so welcoming and um I think like with anyone who comes here, you just fall in love. You can't help it. Like so, if you are thinking about it, you should.
I've always heard
And
good things.
I've spoken to so many different people in the States about like they're like, oh, the flight is so long, da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, the thing is, 36 hours are gonna pass regardless.
Right.
You can wake up 36 hours later in South Africa, or you can wake up 36 hours still in the
That's
States or
true.
whatever,
Yeah, it's going to pass. You're right.
Yeah,
That's a good way to look at it.
yeah.
Yeah. So when I make it to South Africa, what's the food that I have to try?
The food, fat cake, or vet koek It's
What is
basically
that?
like a pastry. It's
Oh,
like a donut-ish kind of thing.
yeah, you've got me.
But like savory. And then sometimes you put like mincemeat or like you put cheese in it. And
Oh,
so
I'd
that's
like that
really,
mincemeat. That sounds pretty awesome.
yeah, it's so good.
Okay, okay.
What else do we have? We have lots of great desserts. I know in the Woman King, a lot of the cast, including Viola, they tried Malva pudding for the first
Well,
time.
what is that?
And it's like a toffee pudding. So it's like a sponge cake with like
Yeah.
caramel sort of
Oh, I'd love that.
sauce over it or whatever. And then
That
you
sounds
serve it
like
with
my dessert.
custard or yeah, you serve it with custard or ice cream, and it's like it's at every funeral, wedding, anything. Like that's it's a South African classic kind of dessert. Um and yeah, and there's so many more things you could try.
All
It's just
right.
such the foods that we have like outside of India, we have the biggest the second largest Indian population in
Really?
our country. Yeah, and part of it's because of the slave trade. So like when the English came, they brought over quite a bit of
Right.
them. And so like there's a huge population in Durban. But what that has done is that like there's a like um we're called the Rainbow Nation for a reason, you know. And that's also why I'm
Yep.
so proud of my country because like we have so like there's just it's so diverse. But like we have curries that you should try that are only like South
Ooh.
African curries, like Durban curries. We have samosas, we have um
I want to
you
go
should
to
try a
there.
Gatsby. Oh, okay, last one. You should try a kota.
Okay, what
A
is that?
kota is take a loaf of bread, half it, right? Now
Yeah.
you have the half of bread, and then you cut out a square of the bread in the middle, and you plunk out the square, and then you stuff in the half size of bread. You stuff chips, sausages, cheese, sauces, kind of like all the works, and then you put the stuffing you took out. You put it on top like a little hat,
Yeah.
and then like you eat this giant half a bread sandwich type thing. Um,
Yeah, that
and
sounds
so
awesome.
it's called a kota kota, and it's so filling. So it's like
It sounds
it's
awesome.
it's one of the it's not clean food. It's good food if that makes sense.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Well, most of the time, like I tend to travel a little bit, and it's mostly to eat. Like if I'm going
Yes,
somewhere,
me
that's the
too.
first question I ask. Well, what kind of food do they got?
Me too. I'm the same. I just want to. I was actually I was in LA last year for the first time. I was in the States for the first
Ooh,
time,
yeah.
kind of, and like just trying all the different foods, the drinks, the fast foods. I'm obsessed with Popeyes, the Popeyes burger.
Well, yeah,
Also chicken
they have some
sandwich.
good food at Popeyes.
Yeah, like I've just it was just and I felt like I didn't have enough time to eat everything. And then there was this beautiful frozen yogurt shop, Greek yogurt. I think it's called Go Greek or something. They
Yeah.
had like this honey flavored Greek yogurt, frozen yogurt thing. Oh my God. Like I
Ooh,
went there every single day I was in LA. I'm obsessed.
that does sound pretty
So yeah, I
good.
love food.
I know.
Yeah, I love food.
LA's one of my favorite cities. I absolutely love going out there. It's because it's like there's like four or five different cities in the one city.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
big.
it's a big city. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So if you've been to LA, you'll kind of get the vibe of Cape Town because Cape
Oh,
Town is
okay.
like South Africa's version. Cape Town's like LA mixed with Miami, and then like if you know New York, that's Joburg.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I will say Johannesburg is it's real South Africa. Like if you really want to feel South Africa in like the best way possible, go to Johannesburg as well. Because
Okay.
Cape Town is like it's for the tourists, you know.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
Joburg
yeah.
is like that's the heart, I feel like, of South Africa.
Yeah. So how close are the two of them together?
They're a 2 hour flight,
Oh, that's not bad.
16-hour drive,
Yeah, yeah, that's a long
which is
drive.
long for us.
Yeah, that's a long
Yeah.
drive, but that wouldn't be too bad as a flight. Like you could go and then like you could hit both if you took a trip. That's why I was asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Easy peasy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm kind of excited about it now, but
No, you
mostly
should.
just
You
because you've been talking about the food.
the food's so good. And also, oh, there's a tea
Ooh,
that's specific to our country. It's called
okay,
rooibos, which is uh Afrikaans Dutch for red bush. Rooibos tea is the best tea in the entire world.
really?
And it's from this country.
All right, I'm
Okay.
gonna look it up.
So You should look it up. And you can actually find some in the States. Like we have people importing and stuff. But you should come for like there's Comic-Con Africa happening this year. Like maybe you can
Oh, that's not
pop
bad. Yeah,
in for
when
some.
did they do that one?
There's one in May and then there's one in September.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, so this time.
I put myself through college. I owned a couple of comic book stores, but that was, it's 30 years ago.
Wow.
But I've never lost the love for it. So, when we started the podcast and then started going to conventions, my son and I started doing them. It was just like coming home for me because, I did that for years, but I was working them. Instead of going,
Yeah, yeah,
yes, I'm
yeah.
still working them. But there's a difference in like covering what other people are doing and then actually being in the middle of it doing stuff.
No, I get you. What was your favorite comics?
Well, see, when I was little, I was a Richie Rich fan. Loved Richie Rich
Okay.
comics. But then as I got a little older, it became Spider-Man and I love the X-Men, love the Teen Titans. I was,
Okay.
and then as I got a little older than that, it was the stories. So I didn't have really a favorite book, but I'd jump around if a story was really good, I might go and read that story, and when it finished, I'd move to something else. If that.
Okay.
Did
Okay,
you
that
ever
sounds
read
so you were
comics?
never like no, I didn't the comic wave missed me.
Yeah.
And then also that's also why I kind of prefer manga over comics because like with Spider-Man, there's like 20 different editions of
Yes.
Spider-Man. Like you don't know where to start. You don't know we don't even know where, what's up or down. Whereas I like with manga, they have a start and an end. Like the
Yes.
story is
Well, comics
even if it's
used to
been
be
going
that way.
on.
Comics used to have
Yeah.
be that way, and then it was kind of late '80s, early '90s. They started that where, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you might have to read 10 different comics to get the whole story. It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's not the barrier of entry is quite hard for someone who doesn't really understand or never grew up with it. But
Right.
I like this like you said the story. So I'm a huge comic book fan in media. So of course I love Marvel and I was there when DC was on CW and making
Ooh.
The Flash
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Superwoman and I never read it.
Yeah. 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 Now
But
I feel like I need to pick some out for you and get you started.
okay.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
just
I could at least map it out, and because that's probably the hardest part. You're looking at it, and you're like, I don't even know where to start.
that's the thing. If you could put me in the right direction, I'd be happy to.
I'm gonna hook
I'd
you
be
up.
so happy to. Yeah, okay.
You're gonna help me with food. I'm gonna help you with comics.
Yes,
It's a
definitely. When you
it's a
come,
it's
I'll
a it's
give
a
you a
trade
proper food
economy.
tour.
Is there a genre that you haven't got to do that you would like to do?
I think comedy.
Yeah, I'd like to see some
Um,
comedy. I think.
I think I've always I'm one of those people where like humor is my first point of entry.
Yeah.
I have dark humor, like it is what it is kind of thing. And so I think part of my presence in the world or as an artist is to make people laugh and to have people laugh with me. So I'd love to do more comedies, obviously rom-coms as well, because I am a huge like softie, I'm a lover girl. But I want to do comedies. Like I want to be um a part of like I want to be a part of the next. I don't want to say Parks and Rec because I feel like that's now Abbott Elementary, but stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
you're
usher
right. It's
in.
kind of Abbott Elementary is kind of the new Parks and Rec.
Yeah, yeah. But I want to usher in like or be a part of one of those shows and stuff that's focused there
I would
or
love
has
to
an
see you
element
in
like.
a comedy show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
You know what? You'd have fit on Parks and Rec because that was such a that
So
that whole
uh,
cast was just hilarious. Even the small parts were
I
funny. You'd have fit.
I thank you for seeing me. Thank you for saying that. I think so as well. It's one of my top five shows.
Do you
Um,
remember
that
they have they had the exchange? Like they sent some of their Parks and Rec people somewhere, and the
oh
other one
yeah, to
came in.
London.
See, they could have done that with
Yes.
South Africa, and that'd been perfect for you to have been there.
That would have been great. Yeah, I would have that show and New Girl. If I could have been on
Love New
those
Girl.
sets, I would have been the happiest person on this
I
planet.
just had oh, I can't think of his name on the show, but Jeff Kober is the actor, but he was the maintenance guy that was in the building.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, he's just hilarious.
His character tried to have a threesome.
Yes, that's him. Oh my gosh. And he talked about that on the episode, because they told him, they put him in the, in the, like he was in the room by himself waiting on them to come in. And they told him like just do, just make stuff up. So he was in there
Yes.
just doing crazy stuff, because they took a whole bunch of takes. So every time they'd
I
open
love
the
that.
door, they didn't know what they were coming into, and nobody did, because he was in there just making it up. It's hilarious.
Wow, that is so cool. I love shows like that that give you like the chance to sort of
Yeah.
play and figure it out, and oh,
Yeah.
that is so hilarious.
I love that show. I wish it would have kept going a little bit longer. I
I
really enjoyed that.
agree. I mean, if you're gonna get me started, I loved the final season, but I felt so jarred. Like it felt so jarring having there's like a bit of a time skip between
Yeah,
that.
and it was a
And also
short season too.
it was a short season and those characters were so funny. There's so much more. I need to be around Schmidt more. Love Winston, love Nick, all of that. Like I just
It's
um
I think
but at the same
Schmidt's
time
the
it's
one
like
I missed the most.
Schmidt
That
is a
the one where
gem.
he's competing and everything. He's like, I can do this all day.
Yes. All day, son, all day. I love it so much. I love how he wants to hug Nick and Nick doesn't want it, but Schmidt, oh, that we should get like a New Girl movie. The thing is, I do feel like it ended early, but it's better to leave while you're on top
That's
than
right.
to overstay your welcome, I guess. But if there's a New Girl movie, or like another season on top of that, I'd
Oh,
be
I'm
so
in.
happy to watch
Yeah,
that.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I've said for a while now, we need more comedies, because a lot of the big ones ended, and nothing's come to replace them yet.
I think it's so hard because like the ubiquity of comedy now is mostly social media, and it's like how do you translate that like the comedic sense of the public now
That's right.
into
It's
what
tough.
we're watching now. But we do need it. We need more of it. We need like straightforward comedies, and like you know what, half of the comedies we love that are from back in the day, not all of them were hits. Some of them
All right.
did stink. That's
Yeah.
the thing about comedy is that like it's a hard promise. When you're watching drama, the promise isn't I'm gonna make you cry. The promise is you're gonna feel things and you're gonna go home and you're gonna be happy, right? Or what are you gonna,
Yep.
with comedy, the promise is laughter. That's
Yes.
it.
That's right.
You either get it or you don't. And because of that, it's yes, we're gonna get stinkers because it's a very hard, it's a very specific
That's right.
genre that has to hit a very specific mark. But when we do hit the mark, it's just so precious, and we need to try taking those risks a lot more. I
Yeah.
need it. I miss it.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm out of like I have rewatched all the comedies. I'm like, I need some new ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just rewatched New Year or New Girl. That was probably year before last is when I got through that one. I'm working on Scrubs now, so I've been through about all
Oh,
of them.
okay.
I like to have one
I
just
haven't
like
seen
when I'm
Scrubs.
working and just in the background, so you don't have to.
Yeah, New Girl's also there for me. That and Modern Family. Oh my God, I love
Yeah,
Modern
yeah.
Family so much.
I just had
Um,
shoot the he played the older daughter's boyfriend, Reed
Boyfriend Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah, yeah. I just had
Yeah.
him a couple days ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
He's a pretty
cool.
good guy. That
Your
show.
job, like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted to know, just like, how does it feel getting to just like, geek out and like talk
It's
to so
pretty
many
great.
different,
I
yeah,
mean, I I'm amazed at the people I've gotten to talk to. It's been terrific. I'm just a nerd. I'm nerdy, and it's fun for me. I don't
yeah,
look at this as a job. I always find out interesting stuff, and I get to talk to people that I'm fans of. A lot of times, or
yeah.
I get to meet people, and then I'll become fans of them. After I've talked
After
to
the
them, and
fact,
that's kind of
yeah,
fun
which
too.
is
So
so
it's
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never would have thought. I was in call center management for 30 years. After I closed the comic store, went into call center management, and I never really enjoyed it. I didn't hate it, but it was just a job. And then
Yeah.
when the podcast took off, I was able to kind of step away from the rest of the work, and this doesn't seem like work. It just seems like I'm playing all day.
Yeah, good for you. That's really cool. It is a very this industry is very special when you get to
Yeah.
participate in it. Yeah.
Well, it's the one nice, and I admit, I normally about podcasts, I'll say the best thing about podcasts is anybody can do it. The worst thing about podcasts is that anybody can do it,
Anyone can do
but
it.
it does allow people, like me, that don't really have an avenue to get into the entertainment business, but it allows us to at least be adjacent to it, if that makes sense. Be a little bit.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I've
100%.
had the best time with it. Oh, I wanted to mention one. Have you seen St. Denis Medical yet?
No. I think I actually auditioned for that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the because it's
No, I didn't.
they do it like Parks and Rec. So they're
Yes.
talking to the camera a lot, or the office, or there's one you might try. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I love that. I love that mockumentary kind of
Yeah,
style.
me too.
There's a show, this is more it's an independent show that's coming up. It's called The Comic Shop. And it's you
I've
should look into it.
I actually had the guy that created that on the show. I've had him on.
Really.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
that's
way
that's
looking forward to that one.
yeah, so with the comic shop, and it's like just it's about black nerds and
Nope.
just yeah, like so that's also like a mockumentary type comedy and stuff. So that's very much up my alley. I will very much watch Saint.
You try that one, I'll try the comic shop. Because that one, I'm
Okay,
glad you
okay.
brought that up because I'd planned to watch that one anyway because I'd had him on and just hadn't got to it. I'll check that out. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Well, Chioma, thank you so much. This has been terrific. You
Thank
have to come
you.
back when you get the next one. You got to come back and tell us about it.
Okay, definitely.
Oh, and
This
if
was
you
really
come to the
fun.
States for a show, you got to send me a note because we'll try to come.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
do that. Yeah. I mean, next time maybe I can even come through and like record with you and stuff. Who knows?
that would be great.
Yeah.
We'll bring
Yeah.
you right
Thank
into
you
the
so much.
studio. And you're so welcome. Couple little things though before I let you go. Anything that you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
Not right now. The industry is
Okay.
quite quiet. It's very sad. I mean, it
I know
hasn't
I've
really
had a lot
recovered
of people been
since,
saying that. It's a quiet time
yeah,
right now.
COVID and the strikes hasn't
Yeah.
been quite cute. But that's why I wanted to, again, an independent show, The Comic Shop. I really believe in that project. It's self-funded or self-made, and so
Yeah.
everyone go watch that. Otherwise, yeah, just keep posted. I'm actually doing a lot more stand-up comedy now,
Are you
for the
really?
first time. Yeah, yeah.
Love that.
So, people can catch me at shows. If you're in Cape Town, you can catch me at shows in Cape Town. Otherwise, yeah, I'm posting on social media. You can catch me at Instagram at Chioma_Umeala.
You know, maybe we just need to bring you to West Virginia for a show.
Okay.
We have conventions
Okay.
here.
I'd be happy. Again, I love traveling. I would be, we'll chat. Let's
We will
chat.
chat. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on
yeah.
one second. Chioma Umeala. I did a little better job that time. Those of you that have watched the show for a while, this accent, this West Virginia accent, along with the fact that I've got Parkinson's, which tends to make it very tight through here, and sometimes that makes it difficult for me to form words. Right? It also messes with my head a little bit, and sometimes I just I reach for something that I have should know, I've memorized, and it's just not there. And that's just part of the Parkinson's, which is frustrating. But those of you that watch the show know I really struggle with names, and I practiced Chioma. See, I did it again. Chioma's name. I practiced it and still had trouble at the beginning. So Chioma Umeala, beautiful name, and a lot of sometimes she goes by Chioma Antoinette Umeala, which is even prettier. It's just terrific. If you have seen her in One Piece, you know she's a talented actress, and she's really just getting started, like just starting to scratch the surface. She was great in the Woman King. I haven't seen Novocaine yet. I will at some point. I'm sure she's good in that, but she's pretty new to the entertainment business, and there's not a ton, although it's improving, going on in South Africa right now. One Piece is one of them that's been over there. She also did some work with BET Africa, which I think was the series she was talking about before she got the Woman King. But I hope you enjoyed that. If you're a One Piece fan, you know, we've got let's see, I think we've had five. We've had five of the cast on. So we've got Aiden Scott, Alexander Menasius, Stephen John Ward, and Theo LaFay, in addition to Chioma. So those five, and we should have more. I think Joe Manganello, I think, will be coming on later this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then we tend to just go after some of the cast, you know, some of that main cast. We tried last time. We couldn't get all of them worked out. I think Emily Rudd will probably have on at some point. She was I would do it if we could figure out a time, and we couldn't do that for season 1, but we'll try to do that for season 2. So saying all of that, because if you are a fan of One Piece, or if you happen to be a fan of Too Opinionated, thank you. Please subscribe, because it'll notify you when we have somebody on one of those shows that you like. So our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. It's free. Just subscribe to it, and then you'll know when those episodes come out. We should hit number 1,000 this summer. So we're pretty prolific. We tend to put out 4 episodes a week on average. So there's plenty of material to watch or to listen to. Our website's meistercon.com. You can find all of those episodes, audio and video versions, on the website. It'll let you know if we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, you know, if we're going with Chioma to a convention. It'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.